Welcome to GovCast, connecting with federal IT's top decision makers. I'm your host, Sarah Seibert, and today we're joined by Kshemendra Paul, CDO of the Department of Veterans Affairs and soon to be Assistant Inspector General for Cybersecurity Assessments and Data Analysis at the Department of Energy. Paul joins us today to discuss his 17-year career in government, explain what led him to VA, and outline some of the successes he's had at the agency, including implementing the VA data strategy and roadmap, and integrating interoperable data management and operational decision support at scale. He'll also tell us a little more about his new role at the Department of Energy. I'll turn it over to Mr. Paul, who will tell us what initially led him to VA. Thank you so much for joining me today. So you have some exciting news. You'll be joining the Department of Energy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be joining shortly. This is my last week here at the Department of Veterans Affairs. Sad, I really appreciate the mission here at VA, the people in particular. There's an amazing collection of talent across the country around data management, data analytics, health informatics, and it's been really a privilege to have the opportunity to serve as the steward and champion for that community and help organize change around data management and data analytics. So a little sad to leave that, but excited about the new opportunity at the Department of Energy. And yeah, next week I'm starting kind of an immediate transition, although I have a vacation plan towards the end of the month that was pre-planned. So yeah, it's a big change for me.
As a bystander, it's been great to watch the progress VA has made with data over the past few years. So you were VA's first permanent Chief Data Officer. What led you to this position, and where did you see areas of growth?
Yeah, thank you for that question. What brought me here to VA is the incredible VA mission to support the entire population of America's veterans across their lifetime to really work towards optimizing healthcare, wellness. VA has a culture of innovation and a tradition of leadership with American healthcare and wellness. And really, many people think of data as one of VA's superpowers, if we can only unlock it. And I saw that as the Charge of Evidence Act. And frankly, I'm a data and information sharing nerd. I've been around government in many roles around data, information sharing, information safeguarding, and I just was really attracted to the opportunity to help VA, help veterans. I also look at Evidence Act, the law that created the CDO role, as the latest chapter of many around government reform, going back to the Privacy Act, Klinger-Cohen, Paperwork Reduction Act, the eGov Act, FISMA, FITARA. There's many others that I'm GIPRA that I'm, many others. But since I've come into government, that's been a key part of my public sector story, and I did see that as a real opportunity here at VA. I need to highlight the fact, though, that I'm building on the shoulders of giants. That's a trite phrase, but it's true. My predecessor, Dot Tran, the fellow that hired me into this role, he was the first chief data officer here at VA. That was prior to Evidence Act, so I was the first Evidence Act CDO. But Dot laid the groundwork around data management and data analytics and really created the opportunity and had the vision and foresight for what it could be. So, really want to, give Dot his due. Hopefully, Dot, you're listening to this podcast.
There's definitely been a lot of growth since you joined VA. What are some of the top successes you've had as VA CDO?
I talked about how there's a great foundation here around data analytics, but it's things like the Million Veterans Program, really a leading activity around genetics and precision medicine and tying genetics to health informatics, electronic health records, data curation and reporting and analytics in the VISN Shared Services Center, the beating heart of data management, data analytic in the Veterans Health Administration. A research establishment around a system called Vinci. The fact that with partners in OI&T, VBA, and VHA have built corporate data warehouses, right, and been taking a journey towards data analytics. Vista, really the first electronic health record system and the pioneer for health informatics in the country globally. So there's a lot of growth, but it builds on that foundation and the people that have led that foundation across VA, across the country. And again, I need to give them a collective shout out. Now, on top of that, right, what have we been able to do? We've been able to organize it. We've been able to bring it together under governance. We've established capstone policy codifying the chief data officer role, how data management and data analytics work. The partnership with the CIO and the Office of Information Technology. Dwayne Beard, the PDAS, is my co-chair and essential partner, my peer collaborator in OINT. And together, Dwayne and I have co-chaired the Data Governance Council and its sub-councils and working groups. So that partnership between the CIO and CDO is particularly important and critical to why we've been able to make success. As you know, as your listeners know, the CDO role in large part is carved out of certain information resource management responsibilities that were originally assigned to the CIO and Klinger Cohen, and then the CIO with Fatara was focused more on information technology and program management. And so that left a little bit of a gap there, and CDOs are filling it. We've set the VA data strategy and roadmap. So we have now true north. We're scaling data governance. We've been able to bring interoperable, human-centered data management and integration. I'll talk a little bit more about that hopefully later in the discussion. We're using integrated authoritative enterprise data for strategy and policy analysis and things like the front end of PACT Act implementation, really the largest expansion of VA in a long time, and really seminal for VA. Federated data governance, reuse of authoritative data products that we've been able to build, to creating some initial infrastructure, shared infrastructure with partners in OINT and the administrations. Advancing an enterprise data catalog. So you need that card catalog. You need that catalog to inventory your data assets. And we have a whole portfolio of initial mission and mission support applications that are anchored and collectively are driving implementation of the data strategy and making sure that we're focused on mission impact, really making a difference in the lives of veterans every day as we're implementing the VA data strategy.
Since I started covering the Department of Veterans Affairs a little over a year and a half ago, you've made so much progress across interoperability, human-centered design, expansion of benefits, like you mentioned with the PACT Act and more. So thank you for all of your work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want to give another shout out to partners in the administrations. Dr. Fransandra was sort of in the role of acting Chief Data Analytics Officer over in VHA and setting up data governance there. Mm-hmm. Elaine Says is sort of my counterpart in the Veterans Benefit Administration and leading governance there with others. And so we're federating the approach, and we really are, on a path to scaling across this humongous VA department. Traditionally has been somewhat distributed and decentralized. And the ability to empower effectively frontline personnel as they serve veterans with the knowledge that the enterprise has about that veteran to really make sure that they're able to work for delightful experiences, world-class outcomes, and collectively really make a difference in terms of lifetime impact of VA services and benefits. We're moving down that path. It's early days. We have miles to go, but the team is coming together increasingly joint, and that's something I'm really happy that I've been able to be a part of.
So you mentioned earlier that you'll be transitioning to the Department of Energy. What does your new role entail? Is there any overlap in responsibilities with your role at VA?
There's functional overlap, but not overlap on the roles. Energy is different, and I'm moving over to be the Assistant Inspector General for cybersecurity assessments and data analytics. Wow. So it's a new domain, energy, which has a vast portfolio of science, climate, energy resilience, security, operations across the country. And it's a new function. I'll be an inspector general, right, a part of that community. And so moving away from more, in my federal career, 17 years, It's always been department change leadership. I did a stint at OMB, it was federal-wide oversight, but and I guess another stint under Obama, where I was the government lead for information sharing for a long time. But that was national scope. But that was owning the operation. This is more oversight, right? It's the role is management excellence and integrity. So using data analytics to help drive management and excellence and integrity across all of energy's operations programs. There's a lot for me to learn, and that I'm excited about that. That'll keep me fresh and maybe relevant to be able to learn. And when I'm coming into energy with some expertise on data analytics, information sharing, operational experience, in departments, change leadership. But there's a lot to learn, and when I go over there, and so I'm looking forward to that.
That's really exciting. So where would you like VA's next CDO to continue progress? Are there any gaps that need to be filled?
I want to, really come back to, we have a strategy that's been considered and is consensus. We have a roadmap, and we're working right now, scaling momentum, implementing that roadmap. The roadmap was designed to be iterative and agile, front-loaded to support learning, really improve our jointness and collaboration architecture, to anchor building capability and capacity with mission initiatives. And VA is a learning organization. We pride ourselves on that. And so, I think that the next CDO, she will make it our own. She will learn based on activity within the framework of the data strategy, within the framework of driving mission outcomes that are, relevant to the secretary, to veterans, to the business of VA. So, the thing I'd also highlight is the federal data strategy has got a 10-year horizon starting in 2020. So while there's a lot of focus on that in building capability and capacity, but what we've found success with here at VA is pinning that underneath the mission impact, right? So I think that work will continue under Lisa Rosenmarkel, who's my deputy and will be the acting CDO, and Dwayne Beard. The two of them chair the Data Governance Council, and that's the sort of the forum, the capstone forum within VA for moving this forward. So no, I think that it's well in hand. One thing I'll highlight is that the capstone metric for the VA data strategy is enterprise data management maturity. We're using the Carnegie Mellon capability management, data management framework for assessing maturity. DOD uses that too. We're currently doing a joint maturity assessment along that service member veteran journey. We're doing one in VA. That's really going to inform and allow us to really have a degree of rigor as we're evaluating our activities. My scorecard is that data management maturity. Lisa, who's taking over, she'll have the same scorecard. Right? So we'll be able to grade our efforts, but also ensure that those efforts are related to mission impact.
Right. I look forward to watching how Lisa and Dwayne leverage the momentum to continue growth. So what words of wisdom or advice would you leave with your successor or CDOs across other federal agencies?
Yeah, it's been great working with CDOs and being on the ground floor of implementation of Evidence Act. I had the privilege of being part of the Federal CDO Council and leading the large agency committee, CFO Act. CDOs coming together and in that role as part of the executive committee. The heart of what it means to be a CDO is bridging data stovepipes to improve services to citizens and better manage the business of government. Evidence Act, which we've talked about and which created a CDO role, is the latest in a long line of government reform statutes, which have the same theme of bridging stovepipes and better integrating government to serve citizens securely, effectively, and increasingly from a human-centered design perspective. We've organized to work backwards from mission impact and then use that portfolio of projects that are driving mission impact to be the umbrella underneath which we build capacity and capability. The the scorecard I talked about, or enterprise data management maturity. I think that's really key, is to lead with mission impact, to grab the biggest problem within reach that you can make an impact on and make an impact, and then use that to anchor what you do on data management maturity and stewardship and data quality and all the rest. You never want to do it the other way around. You never want to lead with your frameworks. You want to lead with mission impact and kind of work the rest sort of under the covers. So that's my advice.
Right. Modernization at its core is really about the mission and the end user. So that's great advice. Before we go, do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, thank you. And just a closing remark on my part, I really want to salute the VA data and analytics community. We estimate it to be about 10,000 strong. Some estimates get it up as high as 30,000. These individuals are evenly spread out across the country and really linked to historical architecture of VA and how it grew up after World War II, linked to leading research universities across the country, establishing a pipeline of talent. And, what brought me to VA was the mission. What's kind of energized me here every day is the ability to interact with this community of outstanding professionals, world-class professionals. And, I just want to end highlighting them and their role and contribution.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was great to hear your take before you begin your new role, and I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you very much.
GovCast, along with Cybercast and HealthCast, is a production of GovCIO Media and Research. For more podcasts and to check out the other shows, head to govciomedia.com. Watch out for new episodes released every Tuesday and Wednesday across our shows. You can follow all of them in your favorite podcast platform, and if you like what you heard, make sure to let us know by leaving a review. And if you have any topics you think we should look into, contact us at newsletter@gcio.com.